Today we continue with our laws of Shabbat classes. Today is class number 7. Okay, and we start with Sefer Chofetz Chaim, lesson a day. And so the big subject is the same. Loshan Hara.
I'm sorry. Which book is that?
It's laws of Chofetz Chaim. Yellow. Oh, you probably don't have it. Okay, so just listen for now, and then I apologize. I didn't send you the book. I apologize.
No problem.
Okay, so and the subject to today's class is a character. So it says it is forbidden to say that someone possesses negative character trait. For example, it is forbidden to say that an individual is quick-tempered, argumentative, stingy, arrogant, etc. So as we can understand with simple logic, so it's not exactly the biggest compliment to a person to say that he is quick-tempered, right, or arrogant and stingy. Okay. To say that someone is of bad character is forbidden as a derogatory statement, which is understandable also. However, to indicate that somebody is of average character, for example, that he does not overlook the wrong done to him, while not complimentary, is also not derogatory and may be permissible. So we're going to explain what does it mean. In common situation, when the term average has negative connotation, such statement would also be Loshan Hara. So basically, when we talk about somebody like, yeah, he's average. Average, most of the time, the way I understand it, when we say is that somebody is average, it's negative. It's nothing special. So same is a character trait. So for example, the one who does not overlook, meaning if somebody would do something bad to him, he's going to retaliate. So is it good? Is it bad? I mean, it's not good for sure. We know for sure. But that's what the average behavior of average person. So it depends on what the second part is implying. On the basis of this principle of relative statements discussed in day number 4, a claim that a person knows known for his piety is, in actuality, nor better than average, is certainly Loshan Hara. So just to remind ourselves what we said on that day, so we said, so everything is in comparison too, right? So we say if this poor guy gave $5, so it would be compliment. So we say even this poor guy, he heard about our cost and he gave $5, so which is a lot for him, right? But for other people, if he's I don't know, he has a great business and making thousands and thousands a day, and he gives $5, so it would be like negative statement. So we would not be allowed to say that because it is a Loshan Hara. We good? Clear? Continue with our book. Okay. So today we continue with Radiance of Shabbos. And I have page 51. Moshe, could you please tell us what page in your book? Who may drink the wine?
The wine thing, it's all over the place. This is the new edition.
Yes.
It is.
So for me, it was chapter number 10, Drink the Wine.
Yeah, no, it was page 84, chapter 12.
Okay, all right. Okay, so it's 84, chapter 12, Drinking Wine.
I think you have the same one as me.
Okay, yeah, he has the same book. Okay, I have an old edition. Okay, so we started this chapter, Drinking Wine, and just quick review what we said in the beginning. So when we said drinking wine, first of all, we said we're talking about Kiddush, right? And we said that after a person make a Kiddush, there is a minimum amount of wine that he has to drink, right? And what is this minimum amount? We said it's Mlolug Maf. And Mlolug Maf, we said it's a chickful, right? And then we said, what is it, chickful? There are different opinions, but we said chick-full, in average, it's a half of revies. And what is revies? So on this, we say there are several opinions, so ranging from what was it, like 3 fluent ounces to 5.3 fluent ounces. That's revie. Okay. So basically, what we said, that the cup that you make in Friday Kiddush, we're talking about Friday Kiddush, for example. So it should be minimum 4.4 revies, minimum, right? And he has to drink half of it to fulfill the mitzvah of Kiddush. Okay. So after he said over the text, he has to drink half of it, and basically, I mean, if the proper way is to drink the whole revies, right, or majority of the revies, but the minimum is mlolog maf, this 2.2 ounces. There is no problem. Okay, so that's what we said last time. Oh, and of course, has to have the cup that can hold these revies. Okay. So are we good or need more information? So Gabriel, you tell us. You good? Continue from.
Yes, I'm good.
Okay, all right. So continue. So any questions, just stop us. All right. So now we're on part 2, where it says who may drink the wine. Okay. So it says preferably the person who recites the kiddush should drink the mlolog maf. So mlolog maf is chick-full. If he is unable to drink mlolog maf, he should fulfill his kiddush requirement by hearing from someone else. So as we said last time, just to remind ourselves, so it's there is no obligation for you to make a kiddush yourself. You can hear from someone, you can answer a man, and have that person have you in mind, and you have in mind to be included in his kiddush. So there is no problem. Okay. So basically, the proper way, for you to do the kiddush yourself. If you cannot drink the wine for whatever reason, people sick, you cannot drink wine, whatever, so just hear from somebody else. Number 2. However, where the head of the household is unable to drink the entire mlolog maf, out of respect to his position, he is permitted to recite kiddush and have one of the listener who is being exempt by his kiddush drink the wine in his stead. So from here we see that first of all, we have to accord respect to the head of the household, right? If we we go to our rabbi, to our father, and of course we have to respect them. So, and for example, a person is sick, elderly, whatever reason, he cannot drink. We still let him say the kiddush out of respect, right? And somebody else can drink this mlolog maf or the whole revies. No problem. Continue. Number 3. One who has already fulfilled his own kiddush obligation may also drink mlolog maf of the second person kiddush if he is at least being exempt by bracha barepricha gefen. So what does it mean? So for example, I made kiddush in my house, and well, let's say we ate in my house, and now I'm going to visit my friend, and I come to his house, and now for whatever reason he cannot drink the wine. He can say kiddush, but he cannot drink wine. He does not feel good, this and that. Okay. So basically, even though I heard the kiddush, I can drink the wine, right? So there is no problem, even though I fulfill my obligation of the kiddush. Okay. So of course, before drinking the wine, I have to say blessing borei pricha gefen, or he can say it for me. Borei pricha gefen is a blessing on the wine, right, or grape juice. So it doesn't matter who says. He says or I say, it doesn't matter. The reason for this, the reason for this is that although the mlolog maf requirement can be met by anyone's drinking, borei pricha gefen bracha is primarily a bracha on the wine, and not on a kiddush. So what does it says here? So even though we have to read all of the texts, right? Whatever it says is three paragraphs, right? And one of the paragraphs is a blessing on the wine. So this blessing on the wine is to allow us to drink this wine, right? Without this blessing, we will not be allowed to drink the wine, right? As we are not allowed to eat any other food. If the person reciting the bracha does not drink the wine, the bracha is in vain, unless that bracha is at least exempting a drinker who is in need of the berepricha gefen bracha. So basically, as we said before, we cannot say, like, it's a general statement. So we cannot enjoy from this world, from physical world, and not thank Hashem for it, right? So basically that's why we say bracha. So if he just say bracha and he cannot drink, right? So it's bracha in vain. It's one of the 10 commandments. So don't take a name of Hashem in vain. So that's exactly this, right? So but if somebody else would drink from this, so there is no problem. Okay. However, if neither the reciter nor drinker is making use berepricha gefen bracha, the bracha is completely in vain. So basically, for example, I give you an example. What does it mean? So, as we discussed last time, there is Ashkenazic tradition that every head of the household should make kiddush for his own family. So if me and my wife, family came to another family for a Friday night meal, for example, they're going to say their kiddush and I'm going to say my kiddush. Okay. So here's a situation. So for example, if the host of the house already said the kiddush, right, and I want to say my own kiddush, but I don't want to drink, I cannot drink, whatever. So I cannot give him to drink from my kiddush because he's not obligated to say bracha. He already said bracha on his wine, so he can drink as much wine as he wants during the meal, right? So this would be a blessing in vain. Make sense?
Can you repeat that? It's a little bit confusing.
Okay, I apologize. Okay, that's okay. I'm going to repeat. So here's the situation. I'm going to somebody else's house for Friday night meal, okay? And I want to make my own kiddush, and that person wants to make the head of the household wants to make his own kiddush. So there is no problem, right? So he makes his own kiddush, right? And he said berepricha gefen on the wine. He drinks wine. And after he makes this blessing on the wine, he can drink as much wine as he wants during the meal as he wants, right? As much as he wants. So basically, if he drinks this wine or another wine, he does not have to, in most of the cases, he does not have to make another blessings. Okay? Make sense or not? That's part so far.
Yeah, that's part.
Okay, all right. So now, so basically now, if he wants to drink more wine, he does not need to make another blessing. So now I want to make a kiddush myself, separate kiddush, right? And for some reason, I don't want to drink wine, or I cannot drink wine. I don't feel well.
In your case, you're the guest.
Yes, I'm the guest. I'm the guest, right? I'm the guest, right? So, and for whatever reason, I don't want to drink the wine. I cannot drink the wine. So, and I want somebody else drink the wine. So, and if I say berepricha gefen blessing, I cannot give him to drink. I mean, he can drink, but this blessing that I say berepricha gefen on wine is going to go to waste because he's not obligated to say the blessing. So, but I can give it to somebody, for example, to my wife, right? I can say blessing on the wine and give it to my wife. So because she's also obligated to say blessing before drinking wine, there is no problem. but I cannot give it to this guy, to the host of the house, because he already made the blessing on his wine. You understand? So I can, or if I don't want to drink wine, I can only give to somebody who did not say Borei Pri Gefen blessing before. Makes sense? But if this makes sense? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So if I'm the host and I made a blessing, and Michael is a guest.
Yes.
Okay, so I made a blessing on my wine, and I have my family.
Yes, yes.
And he has his family, so he made a blessing also.
Yes.
So the wine from his cup, but his wife listened to my blessing before, and she said Amen, or his kids.
Okay.
Can they drink his wine too?
Yes. Okay.
And they say Amen to his wine too?
Yes.
Okay, so they say it twice. Okay.
Okay, so in this case, so you're a little ahead of the game. So I'm going to answer your question, but what you just said, we're going to learn in all of the details. So basically, when they listen, so for example, Moshe is your guest, and before you making kiddush, when you're head of the family, right? When you're the host, right? So you ask him, are you going to make your own kiddush, or you want to be included in my kiddush? Okay, that's the proper way, right? So you ask him. Okay. So if you want to, let's say he said no, I want to make my own kiddush. So his wife and his kids know that that Moshe is going to make a separate blessing for them, separate kiddush for them. So even though they can answer amen, but in their subconscious they're not included in your kiddush. You understand? So
yes.
like for example, if you eat apple and you drink water and you say blessing on this apple on the water, so I said amen. So that's the proper way to do. But it does not mean that I have to either drink from your water or eat your apple. You understand? So that's, but as I said, we're going to explain this in details further on. So far, we worry that this blessing would be in vain if nobody is going to drink from this wine. So the basic approach before you start like this kiddush, make sure that you're able to drink the wine, or somebody else is going to drink the wine. So it's the best to talk like before you make it the blessing. Usually it does not come up. Usually like this situation does not come up, but I'd like you to know all of these different situations, because you never know. You never know. Or you'll be in somebody else's house and they do not know how to conduct themselves. So you can say, you know what, I read in a book along with somebody. That's what you need to do. Okay, continue. However, if neither so one more time, the last sentence. However, if neither the receiver nor the drinker is making the use of Borei Pri Gefen bracha, the bracha is completely in vain. So that's not good, right? Thus, for the bracha to be valid, a person drinking the mlolug mav must be someone who is at least being exempt with bracha Borei Pri Gefen of the one making kiddush. So all of this was explained with my example, as I said. So as we said, the different situations. So if somebody made kiddush in his house, right, and he comes to my house, and I cannot drink, but I can give him to drink, so that there is no problem. He can drink, and he still, even if he said blessing on the wine in his house, he still has to say the blessing in my house. Okay, there is no problem. Okay, continue. An example of someone who already recited his own kiddush still needs a new Borei Pri Gefen bracha. So if I go to another house, would be someone who make kiddush in a different house, so that he's requiring new Borei Geffen to permit him to drink wine in a new location. So just because I drank wine or eat whatever cookies in my house does not mean that I can go outside to your house and this bracha would be valid, right? We good with that? Continue. Okay. Number 4. In cases where the wine is not being consumed by the person who make kiddush, the entire mlolugmav should be consumed by one of those assembled and not by a combination of 2 or more people. Okay. If 2 people drank mlolugmav, however, kiddush is valid as long as mlolugmav was consumed within period of kidei achilas pras. So once again, so a minimum of mlolugmav should be drunk, right? And during the period of kidei achilas pras. Last time we discussed what is kidei achilas pras. So we said it's from 2 to 9 minutes. So the best way is to do all of this eating things in from 2 to 3 minutes. It's according to all of the opinion, but there are other opinions. So basically up to 9 minutes. So of course, not 9 minutes. It's like small sips, as you understand. It's one like let's say if it's a little more than 2 flowing down, so it's little sips. Okay, number 5. If the wine is being given to a child to drink, he must be old enough to recite brachas. So basically, you cannot give babies who, I don't know, like, let's say, I don't know, maybe 4 years old. Of course, we're not talking about wine. We don't give him wine. We give him grape juice, right? So you cannot give him grape juice if he cannot say brachas, right? That's because he is a katan. Katan meaning too small. So basically, he has to be able to say his brachas by himself. But usually, by 5-6 years old, kids can say brachas and they know, right? So in this case, if he can say bracha himself, so he can say it Borei Geffen, blessing on the wine, and give this kid to drink. There is no problem. However, if a person who makes kiddush take a small sip of wine himself, even less than mlolugmav, the Borei Geffen, the Borei immediately validated, and thus even a younger child may drink the mlolugmav. So it's very different. It's very interesting. So this author, he goes through all possible scenarios. So so it's general law, right? So when you say a blessing on any food, right? So you must eat the smallest amount, right? At least minimum. So this blessing would not be in vain. So if I for example, if I say blessing on the bread, so at least I have to eat few crumbs, right? So that's enough for a blessing not to be in vain. Okay. So here in this situation, right, he says a blessing on the wine, and he drinks a small sip. So in this case, he can give the rest of the mlolugmav to drink to this child. Okay, makes sense? Okay, and number 6, one who is alone and unable to drink mlolugmav wine of grape juice should make kiddush over bread. So I think we discussed. So I'm going to send these classes and how to make kiddush over bread, right? So okay, kiddush over bread. So he has to drink wine. So we're talking about Friday night or over bread. Okay. Part number 3: drinking the wine. Okay. Number 1: the wine should be consumed immediately following the kiddush. So basically, it's a general requirements for all of the brachas. So if you say bracha on the apple, so it should be ready. It should be clean. You should clean before. Or if it's banana, you have to peel banana before you start eating, right? And it should be in your right hand. Basically, it should be 100% ready for eating, right? And as soon as you finish the bracha, you have to start eating. So in case of the kiddush, that we say, for example, Friday night. So if you have siddur somewhere, you can look up. So it's like it's a second blessing, right? So second blessing means that after that blessing of Berepri Geffen, you're going to recite another paragraph, right? So this paragraph is not considered to be interruption, okay? But all other things maybe. Most of them are going to be in interruption, okay? So in interruption mean that he would need to recite new blessings, and same with apple and with all other foods. So continue. If someone who intends to drink wine speaks before drinking, this constitutes impermissible interruption, and that person must repeat Berepricho Geffen before drinking wine. So they ask you how's the weather, how are you, and stuff like that. So you answer them whatever you answer. So basically, this blessing, whatever you said on wine, is not good, and you have to repeat the blessing. Or somebody's knocking at the door, and you ask your wife, please get the door. Okay, so you have to repeat this blessing on the wine. However, if what he says pertains to Kiddush, the Berepricho Geffen need not to be repeated. So I'm not sure what exactly would be pertaining to Kiddush. I'm not sure. Like to wine, maybe it's too sweet. Maybe no, it's not. I'm not sure what would be what phrase would not consider this interruption. Not sure. Okay, but for sure there is some possibilities. Okay, so number 2. If wine spilled before being consumed, so possible, right? So he put it down, or his hand shook, whatever. So and he spilled the wine, right? Or I don't know. Okay, wine bills before being consumed, but some wine remain in a cup. The remaining wine should be consumed, and the kiddush is valid. Okay, so maybe half of this spilled, so you have second half. 1/3 left, so you drink and your kiddush is good. However, if remaining wine is less than lolug maf, one must afterward pour more wine and drink lolug maf. So basically, this pouring more wine is not going to consider an interruption. But I would drink whatever is in the cup, whatever is it, like even a few drops, right, from the cup, and then pour more. There is no problem. There is no interruption. If the entire cup spilled out and nothing remained, one must refill the cup and repeat Berepricho Geffen. Okay. So, however, which is also possible. Maybe it fell on the floor. So by the time you picked it up, it's completely empty, right? So in this case, you would need to repeat Berepricho Geffen. However, if one had in mind, while reciting Kiddush, to drink wine during the meal, no bracha is required, and he need only to refill his cup and drink a mlolog maf. So I think this, whatever we just said, is more common situation. So of course you drink the wine during the Kiddush, but most of the people would drink this wine during the meal. So in this case, no new blessing is required, because all of the wine, not only in your Kiddush cup, but all of the wine on a table, right, or whatever you're planning to drink, they included under this blessing. Okay. So go ahead.
What if the bottle that I put the Kiddush cup, it was the last, and there's no more wine on the
table? Okay.
Do I say the new bracha?
No. What's that? You said there was no other wine?
I spilled completely wine.
Yes,
right?
correct.
There was a bottle, I didn't notice, and now I want to pour it, and it's empty actually. So I have to open a new bottle and put it on the table.
So if you are intended to drink more wine, so it doesn't matter. Maybe as you said, this bottle is empty, but you have another bottle. So you said, okay, I have a little left in this bottle. I'm going to make a kiddush. So let's say not you, but your wife poured you into your kiddush cup. So you did not know that the bottle is empty, but you knew that this wine is not going to be enough for the night, right? You were planning to drink more wine. So even that wine is not on a table, right? And you need to open it now.
Right.
So that's included. So you don't need to make a separate blessing.
Okay.
That's a good question. Good. Okay. So part number 4. The beverage in the cup was not wine. So, so this also possible. I mean, it looks pinky. It looks reddish. I mean, but it's not wine, right? So number 1. If one discovered that he mistakenly recited Kiddush over the beverage unacceptable for Kiddush, for example, vinegar or water, I'm not sure how water is going to fly here. I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it was dark, maybe, I don't know, not sure. Okay, maybe it was a juice. Like I would say maybe a cranberry juice. Maybe let's say substitute this water by cranberry juice. So it's easier to mistake because it looks like wine. Okay, so basically, okay, he said kiddush, but it was not wine. It was vinegar. So vinegar is a different blessing than on wine. Okay, even though the vinegar comes from wine. Okay, so first he must say Baruch Shem Kvot Malchuso Lo Olam Va'ed, and we have to explain what is it. So when you say, so this verse, as we say, when you say Shema, right? So when you say Shema Israel, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, right? And after that it says in whisper, you say this way, this line, Baruch Shem Kvot Malchuso Lo Olam Va'ed. Do you know what I'm talking about, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maisha, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. I just, if my goal is for you to be very clear what I'm saying. Okay. So you say Baruch Shem Kivot Malchuso Lo Olam Va'ed. Why? That's how you. That's what you do. So when by mistake, right? You recited wrong blessing. It's like you said name of Hashem in vain. Of course, by mistake. Not it was not the intention, but in some way you desecrated this holy name in some way, right? So now you have to say that uplift this name again, meaning that that's not what I meant, and it should be blessed forever and ever. This name, okay. And so it's not only in this situation, in all of the situation.
Yeah, I heard that, like, because Ashkenazis, they say right before when they put on tefillin, after that tefillin, they say it just in case that the head tefillin is not.
No, but after we say after we put the head tefillin.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. They put it on because we do the
two blessings.
Right.
Exactly.
So they say it just in case, but Sephardis, they only do the one blessing to cover everything.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You're right. 100%. So because so continue. So he says Baruch Shem Kvot Malchuso Lo Olam Va'ed. Why? Because of this erroneous bracha, and then repeat the entire kiddush over a suitable beverage. So the whole thing was not correct, right? So there are 2 exceptions to this halacha. Okay, so he had this cranberry juice. He had this vinegar instead of the wine. Okay, so he has to repeat the kiddush unless sorry. Let me drink a little in a second. Sorry. So A, if he intended to drink wine during the meal, and at least 3 of wine was in his presence during the kiddush, for example, on the table, the kiddush is valid provided that he immediately drinks mlolog mouth of that wine. So that's connected to our example that we gave before. So he intended to drink wine during kiddush, and he thought that there is wine also in his kiddush cup, but his wife, I don't know, his child, whoever, poured him this cranberry juice. But since he thought that this is wine, and wine is on the table, right? So he can, without any interruption, So just don't say anything. He can drink that wine, and he does not have to repeat the kiddush again. So here, that's I got actually answer to my own question. So in this way, in this scenario, he can say, "Pass me the wine," right, to somebody, and it's not going to be interruption. So I said what would be interruption, like for the sake of kiddush. So this would be exactly this case. Right, so he asked somebody to pass the wine. Of course, no more talking, and and it's not going to be interruption, and he fulfilled his obligation. That's A. And B, if he intends to drink wine during the meal, but no wine was in his presence, he refills the cup with wine, and repeats the entire kiddush except Borepri Geffen. I read it one more time. If he intended to drink wine during the meal, but no wine was in his presence, he refills the cup with wine and repeats it's not a kiddush except Borepri Geffen. So okay, so the wine was not on the table, right? The one, but he intended to drink the wine. He refills the cup, and he say the kiddush. So in this, so what they're trying to say, right? So this kiddush is not going to be interruption, right? So because this is for the sake of drinking wine. So you can only drink wine. So in simple words, you can only drink wine after you finish kiddush, right? So and in this case, you have to since he already say Borepri Geffen, but he cannot drink until he says kiddush. So in this case, this kiddush is not interruption. We good? Yeah. Okay. Then we continue. Number 2. If the beverage, so we said if the beverage was not wine. Okay. So number 2. If the beverage in the cup was an acceptable substitute for the wine, known as Hamar Medina. Okay. So it's chapter 13. So okay, before we got to chapter 13, so Hamar Medina, it's they translate it as a beverage of the country. So meaning as a respectable beverage that you would invite somebody over. So for example, if you see your friend, so you say, come over, let's drink, let's have a cup of coffee, or a cup of tea, or I don't know, like whiskey, right? Or you have liquor. Right, so it's all respectable beverages, and if it's common in this country to drink these beverages, so you can do a kiddush basically on these beverages. Even some say, even their opinion that on Coca-Cola you can say kiddush, or even on some juices, right? But juices, let's say like this what is it? Orange juice. Okay. Okay, so one more time. If the beverage is in cup is acceptable, suitable for substitute for wine, known as Hamar Medina, he first says Baruch Shem Kvot Malchusol Olam Va'ed, because still that blessing is not going to cover. So blessing on the wine, Borepri Geffen, is covers only wine, right? He does not cover any other beverages, because he did not drink wine, right? So he said Baruch Shem Kivot, right? This phrase. for erroneous gefen bracha, right? And then he said the proper blessing for this beverage, for coffee, for example. I want to make my kiddush on a coffee, so I have to say blessing shecha kol nihye b'dvoroi, that blessing on a coffee, and the coffee is kamar medina. So, in summary, if it was acceptable beverage, he still have to say Baruch Shem Kivot Malchus Olam way to undo, to fix, in some sense, to fix the error that he did, because this blessing is not valid, and he has to say another blessing, okay. And in this case, they said Kiddush need not to be repeated, because the beverage was because beverage was one which is acceptable for Kiddush. Okay. So that's that. Next, number 3. If upon concluding Kiddush, before drinking the wine, one leaves the room or turns his attention to another matter. For example, he goes to answer the knock at the door. He must repeat the entire Kiddush. So I'm not sure why he would leave. Like if he said Geffen and he's saying Kiddush, why he cannot wait another 30 seconds to finish and drink. But if he did so, I don't know, maybe he's nervous, maybe his mother-in-law is coming, right? Possible. Right, so that's a good idea to live from as far from your mother-in-law as possible, so she cannot work on Shabbos. That's a good idea, right? Yeah.
Like you have like a crying baby in the middle of it, right? And like you gotta go tend to the baby.
But your wife can go.
I guess, yeah.
But okay, but you have a good point. So basically, the whole Kiddush for I give you an example. So here's an example. So if you're in the end of the Shmona Esrei, right? So it says that you have to daven Shmona Esrei and you with all concentration that possible, right? But if you're in the end of the Shmona Esrei, right, and you know that they're going to start Kiddusha soon, the repetition of Shmona Esrei, right? The Chazan. So it says in Shulchan Aruch that you can rush a little. There is no problem, so you can rush. So basically, most of the time you're not going to do it, but because you took your time with one bracha, and now, for example, you have a friend who is sick, and you're praying with all concentration for his refuah shlema, right? So and you're a little late, so you can rush a little. So same here. So baby. Like if baby is going to cry for another 20 seconds, it's not going to change anything, right? But if he diverts his attention, so we're not judging anybody. It's it's possible situation for whatever reason. So if he diverts his attention, he's go outside this and that. So he needs to repeat the Kiddush again. Okay. Okay. But must repeat the entire Kiddush. Okay. So Kiddush and a blessing on the wine, as we said. So blessing on the wine is a part of the Kiddush. So you cannot say one part and do not say another part. Okay. So continue. Part number 5, distribution of the wine. So that with that part, somehow, many people have confusions. So let's I'm trying to be as much clear as possible. One who makes Kiddush for others, it is desirable that each participant partake of the Kiddush wine. So it's not obligation, it is desirable, right? So some people have think there is a mitzvah to drink the Kiddush. It's desirable, but not necessary. Okay. Preferably the wine they're given not to be pogum. Okay, for Gabriel, so we're going to explain what is pogum. Pogum wine, it's a wine from which somebody drank, from the cup that somebody drank, right? So it's a pogum, it's they translate it as a float, like deficient. Of course, it's clean and stuff like that, but it's a little deficient because somebody already drank from this cup. And we said last time how to fix this pogrom issue. So the best way to fix this pogrom wine issue is to pour this wine from the cup back into the bottle, right? And then from the bottle pour back to the cup, and it's fixed. So it's not it's no longer flawed, no longer pogrom, right? So that's proper when you give somebody drink wine to drink from your kiddush, it's not be pogrom. Okay, like the best possible. Therefore, if person who recited kiddush should not pour from the cup he drank into listener's cup, but he should adopt one of the following courses. So basically, most of the time, people exactly do as it says not to do, right? So person would drink himself and then pour into one cup, and then from that cup or that they would pour to all other cups. That's which is the problem. So the proper way, so one of two approaches. So I personally follow, and I advise everybody follows this first approach, A. But it's a matter of preference. For me, it makes more logical sense. So it says here, A. After completing the kiddush, but before drinking wine, he should pour some of the wine from the kiddush cup into second cup. So basically, as we said, not last time, I guess, but the time before last. So there are a few traditions how to say kiddush. Some say while sitting, some say while first some standing, sitting, mixing. But the bottom line, everybody drink wine while seated. That's everybody agree to that part. So even if you were making kiddush while you're standing, so in order to sit you need a second, 2 seconds. So while you're sitting, so just pour off from your cup to another cup, just a little, right? So that wine before you drank from it, it's not pogrom, it's pure wine from the kiddush. And of course you can pour it in the second cup, which have you run for kiddush from the bottle, and distribute to everybody, and it's going to be considered as they exactly drink the kiddush wine. Continue. Care should be taken that revis remain in the cup. So meaning when he pours off into second cup, it should be little, even a few drops. I don't know, not few drops, a little is enough. It does not have to be like a lot, right? So why? Because just 1 second. One more time the sentence. Care should be taken that a part of revis remain in the cup from which he drinks mlolog maf. So mlolog maf, as we said, 2.2 ounces. But if you buy a decent cup, it's going to be like even if you pour even 1 ounce, it should be left almost a revis in that cup, right? So there is usually not a problem whatsoever. He should then pour from second cup into the cups of all other parties. So that's what we do in my house, for example. That's I think it's straightforward way. But there is, of course, there is second approach. And it's I don't it's okay. So let's read B. He should drink a mlolog maf from his kiddush cup and then pass it in to each and other participants. Since they are drinking directly from the original kiddush cup, the wine is not considered pogrom. So basically he drank from this cup, from his cup, and let's say he drank this mlolog maf. Okay, he drank this mlolog maf. And the cup is large enough, so he can pass it down around the table. So I would say if it's only your family, your wife, your kids, your I don't know parents, maybe it's going to fly. But if you have strangers, so if I would come to somebody's house and somebody offer me this drink from his cup, I'm not. I don't. Me personally, I'm not going to drink. Me personally, and it says in the Talmud that's not proper way to do that. But still people do that. So as I said, from your family, with your family, there is no problem. Okay. And since this is original cup, as we said, so this wine is not pogum, is not pogum, meaning it's not defective. Are we clear with this distribution of wine?
Yeah.
Any questions? Okay, that's the proper way. That's the proper way. Okay, so continue. So next chapter, I'm not going to announce the number. Okay, not to confuse people. So the subject, Kiddush b'makom seuda, Kiddush where one eats. So that's also a big problem with many people. So it says Kiddush is valid only when it followed by a meal. This is involves the following two conditions. Okay, A, the Kiddush must be recited where the meal is to be eaten. Okay, and B, the meal must be eaten immediately after Kiddush. So let's read one more time because it's very important 2 points. Number one, the Kiddush must be recited where the meal is to be eaten. So you cannot recite, basically, you cannot recite Kiddush in one place and eat and planning to eat in another place. That's a basic meaning. So then we need to understand what is the definition of the meal, what constitutes meal, what is not. And B, we said the meal must be eaten immediately. So of course we would need to have this definition, what the immediately means. Okay, continue. If either or one of these requirements is lacking, the Kiddush is not valid. Okay, so basically a person has to be very strict with himself. Okay, so in a sense, so before making Kiddush, so he has to know exactly like what I'm going to do next. So it's not only about Kiddush. I think it's about in life in general approach. You don't have to things like I don't know 5 years from now what I'm going to be, but at least what means my going to do in the next 5 minutes and how I'm going to do it. That's a obligation to know and think about it and plan. That's he must plan. Okay, so part number one, eating in different part of the room. Okay, which is possible. Generally, Kiddush is recited at the table at which one the meal will be eaten. However, if one wishes to make Kiddush in one part of the room and eat in another part of the room, he may do so provided that he has in mind at the time of the Kiddush. However, one who did not have this in mind has still met his Kiddush requirements. Okay, so let's understand this scenario. So basically, maybe there is the guy went to Shabbaton or with his family. Okay, so and let's say I don't know why I don't know why he would want to do it, but anyway, there is big hall, right, dining hall, where they're going to eat together, like 500 people, let's say, and they somehow the wine is only available at that place. And his wife went to that place, and he made Kiddush in that place, and now he wants to go back to his table and continue eating, right? So basically, as we said, it's not proper way to do that. It's proper way to make a Kiddush at the place where you're going to eat, right? But after the fact, if it's still one room and he can see the place where he's going to eat from that room, and so basically after the fact is good. Okay, so that's it. Okay, continue. Number two, eating in a second room or porch. Okay. One who wishes to make Kiddush in one room and eat in a different room. So basically, before we continue, so I have to make this disclosure. So in this, especially in this chapter, right? In this chapter, so we're going to discuss like many different options, but there is this author is going to start with like the most accepted opinion by all of the poskim, and then go down, like more lenient and more lenient and more lenient, and after the fact this, and after the fact if you didn't do this is also good. So our approach, and we discussed with Moshe before, so our approach go by opinion that acceptable by the most authorities. So after 120 years, so me personally, right? I'm talking about myself. So after they're going to see how I did my mitzvah, so I have as many rabbis on my side as possible to testify that I did according to everybody's opinion. So just one lonely authority or two rabbis, doesn't matter how great they are, they said one opinion, but 100 or I don't know how many say different opinion. And these two, they say more lenient opinion. So just go by stricter opinion. So have all of these authorities on your side. Why should you go by leniency, especially if it's not necessary? So from my experience, all of these leniencies are not necessary unless you're in pressing circumstances, right? You're someone in a hotel, or you're somewhere out, I don't know, not home, in somebody else's house, this and that. So that's the only exception, at least for me. So one more time, most of the time try to follow the majority opinion, the most preferred approach. And then in case of the need, so you need to know everything that we're going to say. Okay. Okay, we have a few minutes left. So eat in a second room on a porch. So basically he wants to make kiddush in one place, right? And eat in another place. Okay. Number one who wishes to make kiddush in one room and eat in a different room must not only have this in mind while making kiddush, but he must also be able to see the place where he made kiddush from his room, where he will be eating. So, for example, somehow, right? So it's nice weather, it's summer. So I'm not sure why. He wants to make a kiddush inside. Maybe he wants to look at the candles. It's possible. So Shabbos candles inside, and he derive benefit. But there is, as we said last time, in some portion of the kiddush, you have to gaze on the candles. Okay, and that's why he wants to make kiddush inside, and he wants to go out to complete to eat his meal. So that should be his intention, and he should see. So, for example, if it's porch, so he can see from the window even the part of the porch that he's going to where he's going to eat. Not exactly, not even the place where he's going to sit, but even part of the porch he sees table from the window, from the place where he's making kiddush. It's also good. Okay. If both of these conditions have not been met, one may not switch the rooms for the meal. So that's clear, right? So meaning he did not intend to eat in that place, and he does not see that place, right? So maybe it's behind the wall or something. However, if one did so and ate in the meal there, he need not repeat kiddush if at least one of the above requirements have been met. Okay, so now we go down by lenient opinion, right? So that they say, so according to all authorities, you have to fulfill two conditions. Now more lenient, so some authorities say, so at least one of conditions met, meaning that he thought that he's going to go outside on the porch, or he was able to see this porch from his window. Okay. There is either he had in mind to change the room. Okay, it says, sorry. Rooms when he made the kiddush, or the place where he made the kiddush is visible from the room in which he ate. Okay, so now we see it's already we're going down from the consensus. Okay. Number two, if there are extenuating circumstances, however, one is permitted to switch to a second room if at least one of the above requirements has been met. So I would give example for this number two, the opposite. So he started making kiddush outside, and it was nice. It was Friday night, let's say in the summer, and while in the middle of the kiddush, it started raining, right, or it became very windy. So in this case, he said, of course, I mean, he didn't say out loud, but he said it to himself, like we would need to go in a house to eat. So in this case, he can, I would call it extenuating circumstances, and as we said, he would be allowed to move into the house to finish with the kiddush. Not the kiddush. He finished the kiddush outside and eat in the meal inside. Okay, so time is up. We can stop here.